great things about working on DragonAge is that the development team has really challenged itself to bring something new to the fantasy genre. It's a genre that's so saturated that we really have been pushing ourselves to stand out, to bring something fresh and unique, and I really enjoy that process.
Ferelden itself is actually kind of almost a barbaric nation, not too far away from being really uncivilized.
It's a land that was occupied by the Empire of Orlais, which is its neighbor, for a generation until it finally broke free, and all of a sudden the blight begins. So suddenly this nation that's just starting to get its feet now has to deal with a crisis that threatens to destroy it.
We're not telling a story with words alone in DragonAge Origins. What's in the levels actually tell you a visual story and also an archaeological story as you're going through the game.
Villages and cities that have existed for hundreds of years, but they've gone through multiple iterations of war and rebuilding, so you have all these layers built on top of one another.
They'll tell of the ancient Fereldans. They'll tell of the strife with the Tevinter Empire long ago. They'll tell of the great, wondrous battles that have taken place, and you're just now walking through the sort of the ashes of these great conflicts.
We definitely pulled a lot of historical architectural reference.
We were trying to make something to where you could imagine people working, living, breathing in these spaces.
The dwarves, which are very Aztecian, Mayan influenced, very angular shapes. You have the humans, some of the Anglo-Saxon 1200 AD influences.
You know, lots of timber, lots of like rough stone. It definitely makes it feel like it's kind of almost like the frontier of a fantasy nation. The first step that you have to take in creating levels is coming up with your core concept. Every inch of a level is an opportunity for us to engage you in combat, to tell a story, or to take your breath away. For example, one of the most visually stunning places that we have is the Urn of Sacred Ashes, an ancient place built kind of at the early days of the church. We always wanted to have a very striking entrance, which gives you a sense of age and history and grandeur. You would go through and figure out what happens in every individual room, so people would have a map of what to do for the art level creation side, and also for later on for you when you're actually bringing it to life with creatures and combat.
So one of the huge advantages we had on DragonAge Origins was the fact that we were able to do a lot of early development in the Neverwinter Nights engine.
This is the Urn of Sacred Ashes, the way that we built it in the Neverwinter prototype. We wanted to make sure that the gameplay, the story, and all the design elements really worked and fit together. And now we'll show you what it looks like in the final game. And as you're about to see, this is the same entrance in the DragonAge engine.
That whole process can take, on a small level or a simple level, could take a week, where some of the more complex ones can take months and months and months. You know, that's a huge undertaking.
Ferelden is just one country on the main continent in the DragonAge universe, so there's certainly a lot more to explore and talk about in the future.